What's good? It's Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima,
This is not
not
a podcast
another damn podcast.
presented by
Our damn selves.
so 376
376. Wow.
Labor Day weekend. Yes.
Yes.
A little time off, yeah. No radio shows. No IMS. A little time off, yeah. So definitely,
No
yeah.
work, no school. Woohoo.
Fantastic, yeah. And since we talking radio, gotta shout out my homies like like Mike Love's back on your airwaves V103. And
Yeah.
Trader Chocolate Jocks back on your airwaves, Streets 95. So like a couple of homies like Chicago legends, we'll call them. It
Ah,
feels
the
funny to call
world
them.
is back right. Chicago radio is back right again.
Still feel weird to call Trey like a legend because like we started at the same time. Because people call me a legend, I still feel weird. Like but yeah, it's like. But yeah, Mike Love will be on Fridays and Saturdays. I want to say like he's
Nice.
yeah, and he's doing Labor Day filling in for Soto because the full timers get off for the holidays. So
Mm-hmm.
he be doing afternoons, the Joe Soto show on Monday.
B103.
Yeah, hip hop and Dusties, what they call it? Yeah, R&B and Dusty. I forgot the slogan, but something like that. Chicago's R&B, whatever. Chicago's R&B station. I forget, yeah, but whatever it's called.
I knew I was old enough to listen to B103 when I heard when I heard Ice Cube today was a good day. When I first heard it come out, I thought it was the Isley Brothers, and then when I heard Ice Cube, I was like, wait a minute, they playing this on B103 now.
My old man moment was the first time I heard Big Papa on there. It wasn't between the sheets, it was Big Papa.
Yikes.
To all the ladies in the place with styling. I was like, oh, okay, they playing Big Papa. Hey, this was years ago, like when I first heard that on B103.
Mm-hmm. And this was years ago too when I first heard Ice Cube. Because I was like, okay, I was like, I hear this. I was getting ready to do my rides. And then when I heard Just Waking Up, I was like,
Funny, it was both Isley Brothers songs that
like,
were
okay.
it's both Isley Brothers samples. That's hilarious. I just thought about that. We
You
both
almost have to put the Ice Cube with it, like if you're doing the cover, because I heard a cover band at the kids' prom, and they did Footsteps, and then after they did Footsteps, then they went to Just Waking Up in the Morning. They went to that. You almost have to do it because
because
it's like
in the middle of the song, it's like in the middle of the song, it's a little like
a
interlude.
little interlude. Yeah,
But like the first verse of today was a good,
that's
or
what she did. She put the first
first
verse,
verse of it was a good day right there in that interlude. Like
and then I was rapping
in the second and third verses is a small interlude there. And that's why I
I
was
was rapping the verse. I was
when
rapping it,
that's where we put the cubes are there. If you like mix
and then
in.
the kids was looking at me. And then the parents was looking like, yeah, because they were doing it too. We were like, yeah, like yeah, it's cute right
Funny, I know
there.
the words to both songs, so I can do both. Yeah,
Cute.
I know all the words to both songs. And then Trey is doing Streets 95 afternoon, 3 to 7. So yeah,
Nice.
so a couple of legendary personalities back on your airwaves from my Chicago radio folks. Yeah. Look, because I do get people asking about whatever happened to so and so. Like it's like people think I just got everybody on speed dial. People be asking me like, no, I got students. They be asking, whatever happened to Trader Chocolate Jock? I'm like, and then when he started working there, he's right there. Yeah, do yes, whatever happened to Mike Love and the Diz, MC Marcus Chapman. It's like people do be asking. You remember Rick Party? What happened to him? It's like, yeah, I think Rick is actually street on 104.3. I think he's doing mornings on it, I believe. But people do be asking me about the old personalities.
It does unlock your time and you think about what you were doing at that time. Like whenever you do have like your nostalgia and you're like, yeah, I remember listening to this. I was in seventh grade. I was da 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 da. It takes you back to that pleasant moment in your childhood.
What happened?
Before we start adulting and being very ghetto, because being an adult is so ghetto right now. It is.
What happened to Strange Buddha? That's a blasphemy.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Buddha. Boogie Nights. Let's go.
Sam and Dave.
Michael's, yeah.
That's a good one.
106 Jams.
106 Jams. I listened.
Jim and Dave and AJ Parker. Let's go. Later, Melly Mel. We're going back now.
Back in the day when I was younger, I can't anymore.
Classic. Yeah, good stuff. Well, since we talking radio, we can go right into this. What a segue. Like, yeah, rest in peace. Fat man, Scoop man, Scoop man, Scoop. Yeah. 53 years old. 53 years young, I should say. Yes.
3 years young. And
And it's I don't, did you see the video? I don't know if you saw it.
I sadly watched it, and I wish I hadn't watched it.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't.
Doing a festival, yeah, like mid performance, and his final famous last words, like here's if you came to party, make some noise, like
Make some noise, yeah. Because
class.
he was starting the faithfully dun 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 bass drop. Everybody knows it. Bass drop, bass dun 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 dun. You know, everybody we love that. Like we love like as an elder millennial, that was out. Like I said, that was the shit when we were clubbing. When I was
Like
at
boy,
I was that age.
that was around the turn of the millennium, like 90.
And I started going to like I was going to the college spots, you know, the 17 up to party, 21 up to sip. I was going to those during that time. And then once I turned 21 after the millennium, then I was going to like the 21 and over spots.
Like 99, 2000, those were my prime clubbing years. Like I was right in the middle of that. I was
I was at Nitro and
plus I was like I was my early in radio, so like I was getting into places for free at the time. So yeah, so that was when I first was able to like get in clubs free. So like yeah, so it was prime clubbing age for me.
And we would listen to Fat Man, you know, because he'd be out there. And then we would. I remember in college we would sing
like,
all the words. You got $100 bill? Like I don't got $100. I don't got $20. I don't got 10. Wait, no, I got 10. I got 10.
Well, so if you ain't got a 10, you don't need to be at the club.
Like I got 10. We were college students. We were poor, so maybe we had 10.
But see, if you ain't got a 10, you don't need the club. That's what you gotta have a 10. You're gonna be 10 just to buy a drink. It's like you gotta have a 10 or $10 to get in. It's like admission was like $10 back then. So you're gonna need a 10 just to walk to the door.
And me and my girls, we were single ladies. So we'd be what single ladies, like hey, single ladies, hey, we'd be like that.
That was a phrase of all the chicken heads, be quiet, y'all be loud because you weren't chicken heads. As I say,
yeah, we weren't chicken heads.
Be quiet, all the chicken heads.
The funniest thing of the song was like when he would say the who fucking tonight. And
after
then
engine number 9 parts is like then the who's fucking tonight.
When he goes into that, and then me and my friends, we would all look at each other like, "Are you?" We'd be like, "No," like, "Are you?" Like, we'd be trying to, you know, look because like the dude dancing behind you, he'd be like, "Try." We looking like, "No, no, it's not gonna happen."
Some of the spots around that time, mostly Club Velocity. Shout out Mike Love and the Diz. Yeah, that was their spot. Club Voyeur. That was like I got stories about that. I gotta finish my memoirs. Like Club Voyeur was like definitely voyeuristic up in that spot. Yeah. It's like what else is going on? I do remember those off the top of my head for the like I'm not
Funky Buddha was a big one for me.
Buddha was around and yeah. I think the Click might have like started. It wasn't really the spot anymore around that. Click was more like mid 90s. It's like something around that late 90s, early 2000s, like these spots I'm naming pretty much. Like I said, Club Velocity, Voyeur, Biology Bar was popping. Happy, that was happy spot. Like happy.
Once I turned 21 was Dragon Room. That was my spot. I was in
Dragon Room was a little bit after to me.
Yeah, once I turned 21, I was Dragon Room all the time.
Or like Dragon Room was around that to me. So Dragon Room probably was before. It probably was. It probably didn't get hot till now. Let's say 02, 03, 04. It was
so once I turned 21, I was in it. I was in it.
Around like 99, 2000. It didn't really like blow up to like let's say like a year.
Yeah, like around 02, it blew up. 01, 02 around that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that a hot spot, like I said, was Voyeur, Velocity, and like I said, Funky Buddha was around then. I think it was E2 was still around. Yeah, that's what it was. The Click had become E2 by then, so that's why the Click wasn't there. E2 was
it was E2 by then.
It had become E2 by then. It's the new 50. How I forget?
Oh God, yeah. The
became
new 50-yard line.
he became the lick, yeah. And shout out Kim,
Class of Lit, King
Kim,
of Diamonds, KOD, wasn't it later?
Kim
And
and
yeah. But just incredibly
that would be
smart.
nice to like do like some kind of like, yeah, well, I'm giving away fucking I'm giving away gems now and shit like, but somebody needs to do like some kind of like air cover that era like from like the club scene from that.
Love and Error.
You see like club scene like old shit like Studio 54 and shit like that
Yeah.
like cover art. And then I've seen like the house music ones like I've seen like those where they cover like the warehouse and like all the 80s
Mhm.
house. I've seen those like yeah, but we need one on our era. Yeah.
So
Like
basically, if you were out clubbing during the time, you could not have club without
Face
hearing
Drop,
Fat Man Scoop. You
Face
could not have club.
Fat Man
And then,
Scoop, Faith Evans. Yeah. That's why he got
and
top bill. It's Fat Man Scoop featuring Faith Evans. It's like because they just say use a sample from where I love like this.
I never
Yeah,
do you.
the
And
track
then
and the
what
voice. Yeah,
makes it so sad is Missy just ended her tour, and as I think about the song he did with
music
Missy
make
and
you lose
Sierra.
control. Music make you lose control. Dum, dum.
Let's go, because he was just so high energy on it. He was just Mr. Bean's in the house, Sierra's in the house,
That's
and they just finished
One
their
of Missy's
tour.
biggest hits. Yeah, music.
Yeah, because he was just so like he was just cracking that video. I remember that video because he was let's go. He was just high energy, just the ultimate hype man. He just was,
He
and
also did a joint with Mariah. It's like that, y'all. It's like that.
yeah.
Like I'm thinking, it's like he had some hits. Yeah,
Here
that's
we go now. Here we go. Because you would just hear his voice and he just made you want to get up and dance. He made you want to party.
I think
So
that's from the BB album. The
it was
BB. I think it's from that album. From them.
the
Yeah.
saddest thing just seeing that, just, you know, him on stage. And then I could tell that even though after he had collapsed, like they were trying to, like you could
They
see
tried to
that
revive him. Yeah.
even the people that were on the stage, they was
They
like,
tried
oh,
to keep the party going, and then they
they
stopped.
downplayed. They was like, oh yeah, they're like, we just out here having fun. That they said something like that. They would try, I guess, because like maybe they didn't want the crowd to
They
panic,
probably didn't know what was going on.
and they didn't know what was
They
going
were
on, so
figuring it out in real time. Yeah.
they
Mhm.
were trying to keep it not where it was like a panic, but
Yeah.
it was just really scary because he said make some noise, and that was literally the last thing he said.
Yeah. Crazy. My memories, personal memories, I have a Fat Man Scoop. Like, 'cause a lot of people also don't know that he was a radio personality. Yeah. And
Hmm.
Hot 97 New York. Guess what shift he did? He was the overnight
Did you
jock.
do overnights?
So when I started doing overnights in Chicago, like whatever year, I used to call his show, like, like connecting with all the I
Yeah,
did that, like I would connect with all the other overnight personalities in the country. And I called
nice.
Hot 97, like Fat Man Scoop, so we would talk like, yeah. So Oz man, like he had to
Oh,
New
that's
York,
so. I never knew that. I never knew that
Chicago
you
to New
reached out
York
to him.
connection. It's like, he had the little call this show like, yeah, when I first started doing over, I said I'm the new overnight guy in Chicago. I'm just reaching out to all my fellow overnighters. Yes.
Oh, that was nice.
Yes, that was my
Oh,
connection to Fat Man Scoop that I actually built somewhat of a relationship during that time when he was
mhm.
doing overnights at Hot 97 in New York. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes it even sadder. I said you actually like talk to him and you actually like build like a rapport with him. So yeah. Oh,
Overnight because like we a special breed, like overnight. Not everybody could
yeah,
like do radio through the night.
you have to be built. It takes a special kind of person to yeah. But the overnight workers need somebody to listen to. So
Yeah. And
I
shout out
mean,
the night crews they used to
the
call.
night crew, yeah, you working in a factory or where our dad worked overnight for years. So
We're gonna
our
talk
dad
about
was an overnight man. So yeah.
where he worked too. We ain't do with this. We gonna get to that. Yeah, that's my connection to Fat Man Scoop was when I first started doing overnights, I reached out to him, yeah, because he was the overnight guy at Hot 97 New York. The legendary Hot 97, I should say. Yeah. He did the
Didn't he
midnight.
have a reality show briefly with his wife, I think?
That
Or
sounds
yeah,
that sounds
I
familiar.
think it was called Man and Wife. I want to say that was the name of the show.
Yeah.
Because I want to say he was like, man, and she was like, and wife, because she was like really like, and wife, but she said he's like, man, because he was like really hyped up. I want to say that was a reality show. I don't think I imagined that because it was a lot. That was like during the reality show era, so like a lot of shows were coming out, whether it be on VH1 or whatever. You just saw a lot of shows just premiering, and then you would watch them, and then you would watch something else, and then you would watch and you would watch something else. So I'm pretty sure that happened, and I didn't imagine that.
Like the reality era of VH1 slash MTV, we would call it that.
Like MTV, yeah, MTV
Those
too,
shows
yeah.
had different iterations. This is the reality era of the,
Hmm.
like every
Oh,
show.
we was all watching Flavor Flav. We was. Sadly, we all watch Flavor of Love,
Real
sadly.
World on MTV is like this is like
Sadly.
it's like yeah, when the reality era of VH1 slash MTV. Which now I don't even know what those stations are. Like, I know they still around. I don't know what the hell they are now.
They still have reality stuff because they have like the marriage boot camp and the
I don't
stuff
know.
like that. Yeah, they still have reality stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. And I'm sure they air a lot of reruns too now. Most stations like hey, reruns are cheap. It's like a lot of these stations probably air a ton of reruns. Like and BET airs nothing but Tyler Perry these days.
And Martin.
And Baby Boy reruns. Like I said,
Martin be having like
Martin
Martin episodes
Marathon,
like 45 minutes. The show of Martin episode is 45 minutes.
the Air Baby Boy and shit, and then like Tyler Perry.
I hate you, Johnny. Yeah, I see Baby Boy a lot.
Uh,
They were
that's
showing Drumline a lot too, I want to say on BT. Saw Drumline.
that's probably where I saw this shit. Because I know I didn't see that shit in the show. I probably saw it on BET.
I saw Drumline in the
I probably saw it.
show.
But rest in peace, Fat Man Scoop. Yeah, 53 years young. Yeah. I'm curious as to what the cause of his death was. I'm pretty sure it's some underlying condition. He probably had been
Mhm.
sick for a long time, like the myth out, or not even the myth, but the reputation is black men don't really take care of their health like that. So yeah. So we saw that with our own father, like where he nearly collapsed on his way to work and ended up.
Never went to like, and just this is just a PSA for like just in general, take care of your health. Yes, in general, people go to your doctor, get a PCP. You have insurance, take advantage of all the benefits that your insurance offers you because it's a lot of things that insurance does now. They have a lot of wellness things, a lot of wellness
A
stuff
lot of
that
it's geared towards wellness and not just fixing,
preventative measures.
not just fixing you once you get sick. It's like a lot of it is,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's like the wellness is there. So it's like, hey,
That's like
at no
wellness
cost
is
to you.
more a proactive approach than a react. We're like
Yeah. It's like, hey,
prescription
no
is
cost
like
to
a
you.
reactive approach. Is like after you already get sick, it's like
Because
yeah,
that with certain ones, like you can get like a nutritionist,
yeah.
like at no extra cost to you. You can
Yep,
do things like
they'll pay a gym membership. A lot of them like for the month.
hmm
They'll
it's a lot of benefits and your
reimburse you, yeah, for your membership. A lot of them do that. Yeah.
create your get online, like I said, because everything is online now. So create your account online, go into your portal, and you can look and see all your stuff that
Mm,
your insurance offers you and look at those benefits.
yeah.
Because we don't want to lose any more of our legends under the age of 60. Too many of our people that we grew up, like that grew up with us, we watched and we listened to, like they're passing away under the age of 60. We're losing too many of them. Way too many.
Mm.
Mhm.
Mention our father and where he worked, Chicago Tribune.
Yes.
For those that don't know, the old Chicago Tribune
Mhm.
building, like yeah, it's
What's happening there?
started demolition this past week. Yeah,
Yeah, I saw
2 days
that.
ago, I believe. Yeah, like I think maybe 3, 4 days ago, like 3 days ago, something like that.
Very recent.
I said I know that building very well. Like I dropped off and picked my dad up from there many a times. Like
Mhm.
when his car was down. Like yeah, so because our dad he worked at the Tribune. It's like
And I went there with dad before because like I forgot he had to do something at work and I was with him and then like he took me in and then I got to go in. I got to actually see what goes on inside of a printing company. I got to actually see. So that was pretty cool seeing that. It's very loud. It was very, very loud in there. And the machine, which is a lot of like that going on when you go in.
mm.
But you said they started demolition because what are they doing in Chicago? They are doing what?
That's where they're gonna build the new casino at, like, cause
Yes,
the Medina Temple is the temporary
the
casino.
temporary for Bally's.
Yeah, so the permanent building is gonna be at the Tribune, the old Tribune location. So that's where,
Hmm.
yeah,
And that gives like because it's right there, the river is right there, so it's
those
like
prime locations, easy to get to, cause like Ohio, you get off right there at Ohio. Yeah.
yeah,
It's in that same area we talked about where the dragon room and all of that. We just saw it.
yeah.
It's over in that same area. So
I
yeah,
remember Dad told me that he was going to roll up on me one time. He was like, "Oh, well, I could come to the Dragon." I said, "No, you can't. Why can't I go? I'm older than you." I said, "You cannot come to the Dragon Room." I would have been so embarrassed if he came to the Dragon Room when I was there. I would have been
the
mortified. I would
dragon
have.
room was just a few blocks from the Tribune building. That's
It
right.
was because he would always talk about that he was just going to pop in on me, and I'm like, "No."
Could have walked on, yeah, because yeah, you could have almost walked there. That's how close it was. If you didn't want to, wasn't no parking at Jahar. Knew you probably so you could have just walked there if you
I
want.
would have been embarrassed if I was in the Dragon Room and I saw Dad walk in. I would have just like that would have been my face. So embarrassed.
But yeah, when I saw the article, somebody posted in the Chicago group, yeah, the article, and I just put myself, yeah, my dad worked there back in the
Hmm.
90s, early 2000s. I'm like, yeah, so definitely
Back in
got
the day.
memories of this place. Yeah.
Hmm. And I know some people have like their mixed feelings about like
Hey,
it's like
and all of that stuff is
this
like,
casino's gonna happen regardless.
and and as I like to say, for all you complaining about them tearing the tribute, but like, when was the last time you bought a
When was the
new?
last time you read a newspaper?
Like, if you're not supporting this industry, like how are they supposed to make money? Like, when's the last time you bought a Tribune? It's like I'm saying, like
Because I don't even know how much Tribunes are at this point. I don't. I think what are they like $5 maybe right now? I think so.
a Sunday Tribune. I don't know. Yeah,
It might be like $5. Because I remember I was buying newspaper to get like the coupons when I was doing couponing some years back. I was buying the newspapers to do that for
yeah.
couponing purposes. But I don't even really think that they really like the couponing industry has just changed so much. So it's like a lot of digital coupons now. So you gotta know how to do the digital thing now. So, but
But I did see some of that complaining about about well, society coming to you replacing newspapers with casinos. They're not replacing the newspaper with the casino. The print industry is pretty much dead in the water. It's
it
like
is.
the building is just gonna be sitting there. Like, sure,
Very
they could have
true.
done something else with, like, maybe turn it into housing or something, like condos or something. But like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's like the casino bought the land. It's like, yeah, they were
They
gonna
know
do
about
something with it.
land.
Yeah,
It's right there by the river.
yeah,
So excellent view. Because I said we know we like being by water. Like it's just something about when you have a building by water. It's just I don't know.
yeah.
It just something adds to it. And then
Even office space might not be a good idea because like a lot of people are working from home.
I'm
So
working from home now. Like 2020 showed that you can work from home.
if they turn that into like office space, like, and then lose money on that, is like, yeah, it's like, it's, or you just that could leave it leave it vacant. What would you have done? It's like,
And then squires are coming in and
exactly. That's what I'm saying with the land is like, yeah, just the print industry, like newspapers are like, there's only like boomers are the only ones that still buy
I know
news
our mom still buys a paper every day.
every day. And she don't even buy the Tribune. That's the irony. And her husband worked
No,
there
she
for
doesn't.
years. She buys the Sunset. It's not even the Tribune. So even she wasn't supporting the Tribune. Even she wasn't buying it. But I did see a lot of that. It's like people crying about the new Sun, the news, the Tribune. It's like, I'm like,
It's taking over.
like, do you even buy newspaper? If you like buy a newspaper every day, then at least you got a leg to stand on. You
And
support.
then we know where it is. It's like casinos, like especially because what's starting right now? What's about to start?
You got food.
Football season.
Oh yeah.
What do they do a lot? Sports betting. The sports book is a huge thing in casino. It's huge. Like I said, I saw with my own eyes with the sports book in Vegas. It's serious. Like it's a whole, like I said, I think that people are starting to shift. into that more because now you're starting to see like DraftKings,
DraftKings and
FanDuel, like you're
FanDuel, those
seeing.
are like all over your TV, all over your timeline. It's like they're everywhere.
You're seeing the promo for like the sports betting. Like I said, it's still people that go to the casino, but it's like now it's like,
A
hey,
lot of it is
you can sports
online.
bet.
A lot of it is online. Yeah.
You can sports bet now with the largest sports book. And it's all that now. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's a revenue for the city.
That's what
It
it's
is.
all about. The
People are going to gamble
newspaper industry is losing money. Casino business is gaining money. Like, yeah, what do you think they're
because
going
who's always going to make money? Casinos.
to?
Because why? The house always wins. Casinos are always going to make money because people are coming in to want to, if I just get that perfect hand, I can quit my job and I can live the rest of my life without worrying and have to work. People live for the dream of winning big at the casino.
Everybody thinks they're going to win.
And do they have some winners? Of course.
You let
But
people win just to keep the
yeah, of course. Yeah, but
coming in. You got to let some people win to keep everybody let's keep the suckers coming.
everybody's not winning $10 million in the casino when they win. That's just not happening.
Mhm.
You happy? I said if you win $5,000, you're like, hey, I'm out of there. Like you you win your 5 Gs, you're going to exit because it's
Yeah,
like I played 200, I won 5,000. That's a win. So take your money and go.
don't let some people win just to keep you coming back. Yeah.
Hmm. Sure are.
That's how it works.
But that's a business standpoint. Like I say, you can tell a lot of people who never dealt with a business because it's like, okay, I have this dying business, but I have this lucrative business. So let me get rid of this dying business and invest over here in this one that's going to be lucrative. So,
Hmm.
do they have like a timeline of when that's supposed to be with completion or no? Or it's just, I know they just started the demo.
And we'll just started this week.
They may not have an estimated time for it yet. I know the other casino, the one out in Homewood, I know that one is going to be done, I want to say next year
Yeah, that's
by
practically
25.
done. Yeah, yeah. The homework is practically done. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm seeing the post now. Like, I think they actually were doing a job fair this summer. Like they're starting to like pull together. Because you got to have staff when you open the doors. You can't open the doors and nobody's in there. You got to have staff. So they're starting that process of hiring their staff so they can have a hard launch date. But
Hey, let's look at because and I found the artist renderings. Let's take a look at I'll
hmm,
look after they finish the casino, the
okay.
Tribune site. Yeah. Like the artist renderings. This is from the official site too. So like this is like from
Yeah, so it's not no
Alley's, yeah. Tribune.
$1.7 billion.
Mhm. On the 30 acres of land that the Tribune is in. Yeah. It's
Hmm.
the artist renderings of what it's gonna look like.
Oh,
You see right there on the river, yeah. So like this
that's
is
why I was like, that's going to be the appeal. And they have like a little restaurant right there where you can eat outside. That would be
yeah,
nice to have
you
like
like
a
the whole
restaurant,
entertainment.
like a bistro, like you can
I
eat
like that
outside.
shot. That looks nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Because I've done that boat tour, the architecture tour, and it went right there by the Tribune building. It went right there, right by it, and the boat rose right by it. So you can get some nice tours, some nice boat tours right there.
you're gonna have a concert venue, how most casinos do. Like the
Yeah.
two has the venue, like most places that they're gonna have like the entertainment
Mhm.
venue. So yeah. Sports boy, like you said, yeah, they're gonna add a little
So
sports.
that's the big thing now. The sports books are huge now.
Like
3,400
slots,
slots.
173 table games, the 10 like restaurants pretty much. Hotel, 500 room hotels,
Hmm.
entertainment center, like I said, like whatever, some kind of venue to like perform. Yeah.
Hmm.
And we have like a museum, something like that. Okay. Green
Oh,
space outdoor. Okay, yeah.
green space, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to see when it opens though. Like it don't say on here, like they
Didn't
don't have.
say when.
But I did see those artist renderings. I'm like, let's take a look at that.
I would say maybe it's a 26, possibly 26,
Here is
sometime
probably the earliest. I'm gonna
26, I would say.
look at one of these other articles.
Possibly 2026, I would say.
That's
Because
what
like the hardest part is getting the foundation, getting like the inner structure. That's hard trying to get all that. And then once that happened, then the stuff seems to just everything just seems to just kind of go up like really fast. Like with the Obama
what'd you
library.
say,
Like
kid?
'cause it like forever where nothing was
Mhm.
happening. And now you're looking like, oh shoot. Now it's like you can actually see
What did you say, kid?
2026. I said, yeah.
I'm reading from ABC.com. Yeah, Bally's, ABCChicago.com. Yeah, Bally's expects to open its permanent casino and 500-room motel in the fall of 2026.
Don't I know my stuff? No, I'm just pretty good at like looking at and then realistically doing a timeline because you have to do like your structure, your foundation, you have to build, you have to get the permits so like how to build because it's like it's a lot that goes in behind building and getting clearances and all that. And then once you get that going, then you gotta put it up. Then you gotta hire the people to do all that. So
They started
that's going
last Tuesday. Like I said, it was like it'd be almost a week by the time.
yeah, the contractors to do that because it's like then it becomes a thing about okay, are these going to be jobs that are going to be, that we are going to have for like Chicago residents? Like what kind, like because that's the thing that they always point like, oh yeah, we're bringing jobs, but it's like, but who's going to get these jobs? Like who's going to get them?
Let's talk about it.
Chicago residents, like who's going to get these jobs?
Mm.
Who's going to get the jobs? So there you have that conversation. And then, it goes up. Then you gotta hire staff to come out. But the rendering looks beautiful.
Yeah, it looks
I
like
said,
it's really nice. Yeah, like that. The rendering look.
I go to the restaurant, especially like I said, if it's an outdoor restaurant. Like I said, I like being on the river. I love the outdoor restaurants on the river. They're so calming.
It says
Because I
prime
love being
location right
I
there on.
love being on the river. I love it. Yeah.
If you weren't buying newspapers, you need to shut the hell up about the Tribune. Even supporting the industry. It's like you can't complain about it going broke if you're not speaking with your dollar, speak with your wallet. We don't give a shit about your
Mhm.
mouth. Talk with your wallet and shit.
It looks nice though. It does. And then I can't imagine that the venue inside to be a nice venue.
Yeah, like
Like to
concert
do
hall.
like a concert hall.
Yeah,
I said because I've been to some inside the casinos. Obviously, I've been to
yeah, because they have the Hard Rock in Gary. I've been there.
mhm,
Of course, the venue with the Horseshoe many times.
venue at the Horseshoe.
We've done events at the venue with the station. I've been there many times.
Mhm,
It's like Hard Rock. Rockford just opened up. I'm gonna have to try to get out there and check it out. Yeah, 'cause,
I've done some in Vegas. I've done some of the venues
of
inside
course,
of
yeah, the
Vegas.
Vegas ones, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's a nice. I think it's a good thing to. I think it'll be good. I mean, change is about evolution. Things are going to evolve. I know we like to live in the past sometimes and say, well, back in my day, we did like this, and back in my day, but the reality is that the world that we grew up in, it just doesn't exist anymore. We didn't have smartphones in the 80s.
yeah, well,
We didn't have like cell phones like this.
yeah,
We didn't have flat screen. We didn't have smart TVs.
yeah.
We didn't have iPads.
We didn't have internet in this form. It's like
Mhm.
it's like a
We didn't have
computer.
streaming.
Yeah, computers was something for nerds back in the
Yeah, they
day.
were just processors. You just processed. Computers were just
You
strictly
and
done for
you
processing.
were a nerd like back in the day.
So you
So
can compute your information faster. Like, okay, I can data input this information faster than me on a calculator and pen and paper, me doing this,
you grew up
I
in
can process faster with a computer.
you were a nerd back then. That's like how it was. Yeah, yeah.
But
Now
that world
part of
does,
life is
we
like
have smart cars
yeah,
where we have everything that's smart. Everything, any kind of device is a smart device now. So that didn't exist in the 80s when we were kids. It just didn't. So
hmm.
evolve or get left behind. That's the
I could say I actually saw both the Tribune and the Sun Times buildings both demolished in my lifetime. We all know what happened to the Sun Times buildings. I don't know if you that's where like I said, you complaining about the Bally's taking over the Tribune site. It's like the old Sun Times site down on the river downtown. It's like that's where the Trump Tower is at now. So
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That's what that is. Okay. Because I was trying to remember what happened with that one.
that's the Sun Times building
That
now.
was sometimes, yeah.
Right
That
down
was.
the river downtown. So yeah. So you could have had another Trump Tower on the Tribune. So there you go.
One is enough.
So, so there that is. Um Irv Gotti, let's talk about him. It's like we talk about the black men and their health. Irv Gotti, he revealed that he recently had a stroke. So I'm get the story. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, I saw that because I'm like, oh, he had a stroke. Like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what is going on? Like we say, black men, what's going on, black men? And that's a scary thing, like when a stroke happens, because the most important thing to remember if a stroke were to happen is time.
Yeah. So
You
long
gotta react
um,
quick.
you
Time.
gotta know what to look for too. Like know the signs of a stroke. Like whether you yourself are having one or like your partner like notice like the signs. It's like because then
Hmm.
time is a big point. Like they can tell you what to look for. It's like
Hmm.
signs that you or somebody close to you is having a stroke, so you can get them somewhere.
I know, like if your face is drooping, that's definitely a sign. If your face droops, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If it's
but
delay, like from like your thoughts to like where the words come out, if it's delayed, that's a sign that you probably having a stroke. Like if it's like
mhm,
like when you like if you basically if your brain buffers, like it's basically like when your computer
mhm,
buffers, like you talk and then like the words don't come right out, like before you think them, and it's like okay, like that's a sign that a stroke is
mhm.
get get call 911 immediately,
Yeah,
basically.
get some help immediately.
Yeah. Because the longer, that's how so some stroke victims have full recoveries and are able to live regular, pretty normal lives, and then some are like, just where they can't
Irreversible damage, basically,
talk anymore. Yeah.
where you have it.
Mhm.
I've seen people that like they're like, yeah, I had a stroke 5 years ago. You never like they're still running. Like you just that you had a full recovery where it really didn't affect your life. Like you're still, yeah, I still go and exercise 4 times a week. I still do this. I still do that. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. And then you see the ones that aren't as fortunate to have it the other way. But if anything doesn't feel right, like it's no shame in going to a doctor. It's just not. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you less than.
And let's stop the normalizing well, I ain't trying to hear no bad news because that's why a lot of our people don't do. So ignoring it is going to fix the problem. Just pretending like it's like pretend like you don't feel something funny and shit going on.
If you having twinges in your spine and you're like daily, like you need to go see a specialist. Go to a doctor.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that everything, like I'm a person that everything, I don't think that you need to shove like prescription pills down your throat on everything, because some stuff can be corrected with
Yeah.
dieting and exercising
Losing
and
weight.
just changing and just lifestyle changes in general. Some stuff can be like the thing that I always say to you is like if you have something like stop smoking, stop smoking, stop smoking.
Yeah.
Eliminate that first. Limit your alcohol intake. Limit that. Um, if you need to, lose some weight. If you need to,
Sugar.
sugar,
Yeah.
salt.
Yeah.
Don't just take it and just be with the salt. You just I cringe when I see those videos of people and they're seasoning their food and then it's like I would not eat any because I'm like I'm sneezing through the can. I'm sneezing watching the video. I'm like that is way too much seasoning. You don't need to.
It's like and was it Friday after next with Pops was that the potato salad? He's putting all that damn salt in. Is that I think that the restaurant him and what's his name DC
Oh yeah,
Curry
Don DC Curry.
Slap Your Mama restaurant. Yeah, that way.
I feel mama.
Like, yeah, that one they shouldn't putting all that damn salt in a potato salad.
And you can tell when something's overseas and that's it because I don't use a lot of salt with like my stuff. So it's like if I buy into something that has like I've been into food and I'm like, I just taste salt. That's all I taste. I taste nothing else but just straight salt. This is way too salty. Like you gotta take it down, like just a pinch. Often it's just a pinch. You need just a pinch. You don't need all. You don't need that.
Salt is powerful. People don't realize. That's why with recipes, salt is measured in like spoons, like where a teaspoon, like half teaspoon is measured in spoon. You don't put no
Mhm.
cup of salt in nothing. Recipes is always spoons. That's how strong salt
Be
is.
like, if you did.
I'll be like, add 2 cups of salt. It's like you never see a recipe that's gonna say that. It's like
So as of now, how's Herb doing as of now? This-
it's a picture that was circulated him online when he's walking with a cane. So like that's all that I know right now. So it said so I don't know how his health is doing and everything, but they're showing walking with a cane. Like I saw that. I was like, okay, so they still TMZ still doesn't have the full story, but it is
Oh,
out.
they be on it, TMZ.
Except for Beyonce at the DNC, but even Mike missed shots. Like, yeah,
Like even Steph Curry airballed the three. He's even airballed before,
Mike is
so
game winners before. So
it happens with the greats. It happens. But open up the TMZ door. Did you see TMZ's interview that they did with Judge Mathis? Did you see that?
oh, let's talk about Judge Mathis. Like,
Yes.
and his wife, we missed this last week. Yeah, of 39 years, she filed for divorce on
39 years.
85 through
So
the
1985. Think about what you guys were doing in 1985. I know what I was doing in 1985. I was a child, so I know what I was doing.
I was
So
I was dreaming of getting in Doc Brown's DeLorean. That's what I was doing in 85.
1.21 gigawatts.
That's what I was doing in 85.
But think about it, 39 years of marriage. So it seemingly came out of nowhere because they're like, his wife filed for divorce.
Mm.
And then they caught up with Judge Mathis, TMZ, because I saw the video that TMZ posted. He was in the airport. And what I did like about the video, that people were like trying to be, why? It's like, it's TMZ. Like people know TMZ, what they say. I mean, usually, even people who don't like paparazzi, TMZ somehow they get like, people are taught to TMZ. They don't talk to others. They don't talk, I'll talk to TMZ, but I'm not talking to you over here.
Somehow TMZ gets a pass. Yeah.
They'll talk to TMZ because like maybe they have staff that's pretty likable and like maybe staff that knows how to engage with the
They get a
celebrity
pass,
and
so like people don't mind talking to them for whatever reason, like you said.
mhm. Because at first when they were asking him how's it going and then he was like good, he was like no, actually not good. And then when he said that, then he was like, well, we saw that. And that's when Judge opened up. Like once he had that door, he opened up and Judge Mathis, for few words, he just basically said that he's fighting for his marriage. He said that. He said, I'm fighting for my marriage. He said it was a thing. He said he wanted to dispel the myths because it was myths out there. It was rumors saying that he fathered an outside child. He said that's just not true. I did not father an outside child. That did not happen. That didn't happen. It didn't. He said the thing that was going on was he said neglect was going on basically because he was like, my wife
A lot. That's what I said. Yeah.
he was like, my wife was third. He was like, because he was like, between me doing my show, so serving the community, doing my show, um, going out with my friend, like that. Like he was like, my wife was always like he didn't like as Jaheim, he didn't put his woman first. He stopped putting his woman first, and that's what happened. And we're starting to see instances like that where like you'll see oh, like when a woman files for divorce after many, many years of marriage to someone,
There's
like I
something.
said,
Yeah.
it's usually a thing of, like I said, obviously the first obvious one was okay, the infidelity happened because that's the first thing people think. Was somebody unfaithful? Was your husband
That's
unfaithful?
always
Was
the
it
first. Yeah.
infidelity? because we know that sometimes, not being funny, but sometimes husbands do want to trade in their wives for a younger model. We see that. We've seen that happen numerous times where we see a husband upgrade his wife. We'll see that.
Yeah.
So we wonder if it's that type of situation. It's like, okay, no, it's not that, but oftentimes it is as simple as like, okay, you stop dating your wife, you stop taking her out, you stop, hey, beautiful, you look beautiful today. Just a simple good morning, beautiful text to your wife. Or just a silly text of the day, like you see like a silly meme of something, you text your wife a silly meme through the day, like just little stuff like that. Like if you just kind of just like, okay, I'm just working, working, work. I'm just kind of, and you just, but it is a balance of that also because Judge Mathis, very popular, very famous, wealthy. He is. So if you have a man who you want a high value man, he's going to be working a lot.
Yeah.
But nobody is that busy where you can't take time out for your person unless you just don't want to take time out. That's the reality. Nobody is that busy where they just can't, oh, like I said, like we saw Barack Obama was the president of the United States, but you still saw him out with Michelle. Like he made time for his wife still. You get what I'm saying? Like he still was, you saw them on dates, you saw them out. So
By choice.
it's it's that balance. It's like, yes, I'm busy, but okay, this weekend I have 5 hours of free time. I'm gonna spend 3 of those 5 hours with my wife. I'm gonna spend it. We're gonna go on a date night. We're gonna do a date right now. We're gonna go to a play. We're gonna do something. I'm doing something with her.
Mm.
But the positive thing that he did say that he said that they are still living under the same roof. So she has not moved out. And he said that now he was like, I'm more really just use this time now to just basically like he's trying to get back in her good graces basically because he's like I have time, like she's still we're cordial to each other, we're still under the same roof, so
He's being intentional with it, basically. Yeah.
it's a chance, like I said, she hasn't moved out. Separation doesn't mean that you're going to divorce. Separation just means that okay, you need, I'm bringing something to the forefront to show that we have issues that may not be able to be resolved. And if during this time of separation, if we're not trying to close that gap to get back together and to secure us to make us stronger, then at that point, then it's like, okay, we should make the separation final and then divorce and then part ways. We should. But the separation first is just like, okay, we've addressed that it's something going on. So,
Something that we must be fixed. Yeah.
mhm. So I mean, I'm hoping because I'm like that's like trying to get out on these streets and date after 39 years, like that is ghetto. Like like I mean, I get it. Like if you're feeling like you're neglected and that that's something that definitely needs to be addressed. You definitely just can't go through another, like at this point, you could be 50, 60 years of marriage. Are you going to go through another 20, 30 years of marriage just
If it's whack and shit.
are you going to? Like, I mean, I get that, but starting over at ugh, like I wouldn't want like 40, like 39 years. That's a long ass time.
Damn near
And
50
starting over,
years. Yeah. So it had to she had to really be over the shit. That's my thing. You gotta really be over it if you ready to start over after 39 years. It's like you really like I'm over.
Judge,
Yeah.
put your romantic charm on. What did you do to get your wife? What did you do to, like I say, as fellas? Like here's a game I'm gonna give you guys. You gotta dip back sometime. Think about what you did to make your wife fall in love with you. And dip back to that moment and think about what you were doing and then recreate what you were doing. But be sincere about it. That's the thing I'm going to say. Just don't do it like I'm just trying to get her back and you're not sincere. That's the thing. Women, we can see through if you are sincere or if you're not sincere. So don't just do shit just to shut her up and like, oh, okay, yeah, we good now. No, don't do that. Be sincere with your intentions with her.
Like when Gina wanted Martin to propose, and then he
I
just,
will marry you. Damn. Are you happy? You can't do, fellas, you can't do that. Fellas,
don't be,
don't do that.
don't be
But
Martin.
be intentional,
Mm.
be sincere. Because like I said, women, we don't want to be, because like we know you're type. I mean, no man is perfect. It's no man on this earth that is perfect for you. If you're trying to look for your perfect, people don't exist because we're all humans and we're all flawed. Nobody is perfect.
Oh, facts.
So, so you know that your husband's thing, okay, like, okay, he's a little annoying about this type of thing, but he's a good man, he's a good this and that. You leave that and then you go out here in these streets and now you with these as young people call it, you with the dusties now and you with you with beta men who are dusty. So now it's like
Shout out to you, Maury. Did I say that out loud? She's definitely dealing with the Dusties now. And their whole situation, the more I look back, is
I still don't know what their whole, like I said, they both of them have been just very mum about what actually happened. Like it's like she chose her peace. He's like he never wanted to do. Like, so I still don't know
I
what
don't think Corey Hardrick really liked her like that. That's what I think.
I don't know what their I
I'm
don't know what it was
That's my
between them. I
opinion
still
right
don't
now.
know.
I don't think he really liked her. It was just Tia Mowry. So yeah, he just jumped at the shot that it's Tia from the game or whatever. So yeah, he just jumped at his shot or whatever. But I don't think he really liked her like that.
I think that she was more the pursuer for him. I do think that she pursued him more than he
Even when
pursued
you look
her. I
back
don't
at
think
their old videos, like I'm just going by body language, he always seemed kind of annoyed by her.
he seemed annoyed by her. He did.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get because Tia, like I said, she's a goofy girl. Like I mean, she's a fun, goofy girl, and he's a quiet, reserved guy. So sometimes that dynamic doesn't balance. So like if you have somebody who's like just, just like that, and then the other person's just like
I know the feeling about that shit.
you, it doesn't. Like opposites do attract because like sometimes when you can't have two people like then they're both battling. I'm the center of attention. No, I'm the center of attention. No, I'm the center. Like that's you can't have two people who are both vying to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
That's not going to work. But you can have somebody who is like a little bit more quiet and a little bit more, and then somebody who's talkative. That can work. But he did seem like he was just kind of like when she be doing stuff, he'd be like,
Yeah, look at their old stuff. Like he always seemed annoyed to me. Like in hindsight, I'm looking at the time,
yeah.
think about it too much. But yeah, I don't think that dude liked Tia like that. And I think that's what ultimately ended them. That's just my opinion. I'm not basing that on anything. Just a gut feeling is all I'm basing that on. That
Mm-hmm.
dude didn't like her. Never really did.
But Judge and Mrs. Judge, you guys need to, because 39 years,
Yeah.
don't go back on these streets.
Nobody
It's
because
nothing.
out in these streets ain't nothing but crackheads
It's
out
crackheads in these streets. It's nothing but crackheads. So
there.
you
Crack. You don't want to date a crackhead, do you? See, none of this would have happened if he had stayed in Chicago. I'm just, no, I'm just...
well, sometimes going to that LA life, you
Damn,
sometimes you go in that big LA life.
man, we'll say we're here in Chicago. We didn't have these problems.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Chasing them LA waterfalls. You should have stayed in the
Like we know, like
lakes in Chicago.
Chicago had
The Chicago River and Lake Michigan.
Chicago River.
You chasing them waterfalls in LA. The Chicago River and Lake Michigan. You should have stayed there.
Chicago has its issues, but I mean, we know that we know our issues in Chicago, and we're used to our issues in Chicago. We know how to navigate our issues in Chicago, but just saying.
If we talking Chicago, who is a Chicagoan now? Let's talk about the goat Simone Biles, the gym goat. Yeah, you saw that. Which makes it even more impressive because it looks like her and Jonathan Owens said they're expecting a baby. I've been seeing that. It's like out there.
Is that true? Because I've been
I've
seeing
been
that, but I
seeing
haven't
it out
found
there.
a way
I've
to
been trying
like.
to confirm it. Yeah, I was
I'm
trying to see
trying to
if
confirm it.
yeah. Because if it is, then if she was doing all this while and was expecting, it's like that's something. Yeah, that's what I was looking
Serena
at, trying to confirm.
Serena Williams won the Australian Open when she was pregnant with her daughter. So it's not impossible. Like if you are an athlete, I said what I've learned about whatever talent that you have, you can still do your stuff. Like I've seen videos of like runners who are like 7 months pregnant, they can still like you can still run.
Yeah.
You can still do your activity of that. Like I mean, when you're pregnant, you can. That doesn't mean that you have to like stop. Like, okay, I'm pregnant, so I can't do my. No, you can still. If you're a dancer, you can still dance. You can still do
Let's see the
things.
pregnancy rumors. I found the latest. Okay, I found the latest. Yeah, it's like says she has not said anything about whether or not she's pregnant or expecting a child. So Snopes, I'm going, Snopes like they be getting to the third and shit. Yeah, I'm looking like what she's pregnant. Beginning August like 5th. Yeah. What's the bulbs over to a website called USA Load. Did not appear to be a trustworthy. Okay, yeah. So the first site that posted it was some bullshit. Okay, and like bullshit spreads fast. Yeah.
Hmm.
She does want 2 children. She said that well, how Jonathan Owen said he wants 3. So like yeah. So they have talked about having kids. Like okay, yeah. But yeah. As far
You
as
have
like
time.
scoring
You're
the Snopes,
young.
like no baby in the bun right there.
Yeah, you have time. Like I said, don't let people pressure you guys into children, and
Yeah.
you have time. You guys are still young. You have plenty of time.
Especially tired. Like enjoy your retirement years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're young. You don't have to.
All your golden years in your 20s. Like, yeah.
What a life. Retire 27, enjoy it. What a life we live.
As a gymnast, that is you're
It
very,
is. It's very seasoned.
very seasoned at 27. So, yeah,
You
definitely.
are. You look at these girls in the competition, 14, 15. So yeah, you're extremely seasoned.
You're the OG by 27. Yeah. So, no baby there. We talked about Ashanti and Nelly's baby. Um, what you got, kid? I'm just going, I've been talking. I'll say it.
Oh, I actually watched the program. Like I said, I want to say maybe it just became available. So when you have so many streaming apps, you move away from the app, you moved in there. It's like, okay, let me start looking at like what's on Peacock. So I turned on Peacock and I was looking,
Watch
and
it
also
live.
the Paralympics are happening. So I
Olympics.
have looked a little bit at some of the para, and that's another thing. Simone's such a class act because she was like, support the Paralympics like you support the Olympics. Show them the same love that you showed the Olympics. And I really think that she was a great person to actually say, like, like, yeah, we support each other. Beautiful thing to say. But when I was looking on Peacock, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, Gary. It was a documentary about Gary Coleman's life.
I did see that. I didn't watch it though. I saw the
I
Gary
watched it. Yes, I watched it.
pop up
And
in my thumbnail. 'Cause I was watching WWE The Bash in Berlin
mhm,
the other day. I was when I saw the Gary Coleman thing pop up now. I didn't get to
mhm.
watch it. I
So
probably
I want to say it's fairly new because it did say 2024 as the date.
they
So I
probably
don't know if it just
put that thing
premiered
up there probably
this
this week is
week
what I'm thinking.
or whatever.
They probably just put that thing up this week.
Because I saw it and watching it, it was like just watching the trauma and just the shit that he had to go through
Battle
and
health issues his whole life. Yeah.
his whole life. They had his best friend on there who was like his manager at one point, and he said basically from like 1985 to the time he died in 2010, he had like no kidneys in his body, basically.
Yeah.
I was like, what the?
Because he did get a transplant, but it rejected. When you get a
Yeah,
kidney,
absorbed. They said his body absorbed it or
it doesn't
something. Yeah.
always, yeah, your body doesn't always take like to organs. It's like they reject it. We had a cousin that who had a kidney,
Yeah.
he was on dialysis and he got a transplant and his body rejected it. Rest in
Hmm.
peace. Yeah, okay, yeah. Like he
Hmm.
so like your body don't always like just because you get you find an organ, it doesn't always take. Like
Hmm.
sometimes your body rejects it. Yeah. And
Yeah, because
cold.
they was like it absorbed it. They said his body absorbed it, and they said pretty much from 1985 to 2010. So he was going to dialysis, they said 3 times a week.
I remember
Dialysis is like
this is
4 hours a day.
85 was the final season of Different Strokes, so he was still on Different Strokes like while this was going on. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm. And they said it was you're doing that 3 times a week, 4 hours a day. It's
yeah.
basically filtering all your blood out your body. So you're incredibly drained. They talked about an instance where his best friend and Todd Bridges both said that this happened, but of course the daddy said it didn't happen because they had his parents on there.
Willie Coleman, let's go.
Willie Coleman, he's hectic as hell.
Willie
Willie
Coleman,
Coleman said it didn't happen.
quite the character that dude.
But Todd and the friends said that this happened.
I've seen other documentaries about so I haven't seen this one, so I know a lot about the Willie Coleman story. I've seen other
I
different.
didn't know that. I didn't know.
I've
I was
seen
watching.
different.
I'm just watching the whole time.
Here's what
Like
it,
this mother.
I've seen a Different Strokes documentary, but not a with Gary Coleman.
Very
I've seen
cool.
a Different
I was
Strokes.
like this mother the whole time. That's just what I just couldn't know what to say. But Todd was saying there was a time when he was on set that Gary Fish is saying that right after he just started throwing up.
Yeah,
So he was working and that's what he had to deal with. And then Willie just like, no, we gotta get this. He said Willie was just trying to push him to
because remember, Gary was the
work.
highest paid child actor on television in his era. There's no kid on TV that was getting
And
more than Gary. Yeah,
they said at one point he made $100,000 an episode.
yeah, he was
And they
the
said
highest
that
paid child star, like not black child star, highest paid child star.
child star
In the
period.
era, Gary Coleman was any kid you saw on TV in the 80s, Gary was making more money than any of them. Yeah.
And they said that during his course of like, that 80s time when he was like in his golden time, like from different different stuff starting late 70s and then the
I think
80s, he
70,
did
77 or 8, I want to say different.
77, I think, yeah.
77, I think it started, and it ran to like
Like
86.
86, yeah. 77 to 86, I think it
That's the
ran.
run of Different Strokes. So his
But
prime Gary's like that 80s run, like yeah, that early 80s, like his prime Gary Coleman. Let's say 80 to like 86 is like prime Gary Coleman. Yeah.
and then they was like when and then he did like some of like some movies. He appeared on like some other
Yeah.
shows during that time, whatever.
Gary Coleman was everywhere.
But during that time, they said he made $18 million. And this is the 80s. That's still a lot of money today, but in the 80s,
You have a
he
net
made,
worth of 18 million back then. You were like, that's like being like in the hundred, like six, like the 100 million mark. That's like being in that there back
he
then,
made
40
$18
years.
million.
Yeah.
And his parents stole from him. They did. You can't make it. They stole money from him. Like in
But the
his
money is
because
supposed to like go into a trust. Yeah.
it was supposed to be a 25. They showed that they was like 25% of his because his parents were his managers
Yeah.
or whatever. So they got 20% off the top. They showed all the different things of like, how they show like the breakdown of like who gets
Like
what. And then they
because because Gary Coleman he was a brand and they ran his brand like they were like the CEOs of the Gary Coleman like
yeah.
brand or whatever. Yeah, so that's what his
Mhm.
parents like. So that's why they were entitled to a cut. They were like,
And they showed the breakdown because they was like they got 20%, and then they showed the other breakdown, but they said 25% of his money was supposed to go into a trust for him. 25%. And what they were doing is like they were stealing from that trust. So like they were doing things to like they were taking out stuff and saying it was something else, but then it was like no, like all of them was shady. Like the whoever was working at like who was it, the talent manager, maybe the accountant. It was like all of them was shady.
yeah,
Whoever, everybody who they all had their hands in his pocket, and everybody was just taking from him. So it's just unfortunate that when you turn 18 and you think that you got this money in your account and then you don't have anything.
yeah. Because he
And then
turned
he took it
18
to
around
court.
the time the Different Strokes wrapped. So
Yeah.
he's straight. It's like, okay, yeah, like I ain't got to do that no more, but I got my money. Yeah. So, yes, thank you. It
Mhm.
was around the time the show wrapped is when he was turning
And
18.
they show when he sued his parents, and then he did win. Like his judgment, he did
He
win.
ran this judgment, but I still don't think he got anything
I
because
don't think he because like
because
the old
you
phrase,
can't get
you
blood
can't
from a
get blood from a turnip. The old phrase, you can't get blood from a turnip. You can't.
yeah, like
And then that's why he had to resort to doing the security job.
when he punched the old girl, it's like yeah,
And they showed that. They showed that. And like I said,
She
now
thought it might
knowing,
has been or something, and then he just knocked her out.
yeah, now knowing the story behind it, I said, because like at the time, like I said, we didn't have the full context. So we just thought it was funny, like, you let Gary Coleman kick your ass, that's what all of us said. Because when it happened, we made fun of it. We did, because we didn't have the knowledge that we do now.
Still
So we
funny
made
for
fun.
some reasons now because she kind of deserved it. Like I wish
Yeah, but
wish Jeffrey Owens would have knocked out that chick at Trader Joe's.
because this is what happened. The lady, she asked him for an autograph, which, isn't out of pocket because you see a celebrity, you get excited. So ask
Especially
a
random
celebrity
like
for,
that, like you see him working security. Is that Gary Coleman? It's like you would
yeah,
just
it's not out of pocket to ask a security. I mean, to ask a celebrity for an autograph. That's not out of pocket because you are a public figure.
yeah.
So then he wrote her the autograph, and then that wasn't good enough. She was like, "Well, can you write a personal
Like
message?" Like
she write this is like
she wanted
she
she
didn't like
wanted
the
a
autograph.
personalized
I
message.
saw this story. Yeah, she didn't like the message that he just wrote her a simple autograph. She's like, yeah, well, can you write? Can you do this? Can you do that? It's like
It was
so.
for her kid. It was like for her son or
So
something.
Gary basically told her to fuck off and shit. It's like
And then after he did that, then they said he took the paper back and he ripped it up. Like, okay,
told her
like
to fuck
now you
off.
don't get nothing, which I agree with.
Basically told her to fuck off as well.
Like I said, I agree with him because it's like I oblige you an autograph. Like I said, which I don't have to do. I said just because you asked me for an autograph, I don't have to give you an autograph. You are not entitled to an autograph. But I wrote you an autograph.
Then
You
she
said,
called him a loser, and that's when he knocked her out.
and she said that's why your show. She talked about like how his career failed, or she just
Why
took like digs at him. Why your career
has
failed the way it
been,
did, or
yeah,
something.
you're has been, you're a loser, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's like, are you going to walk up to like a regular person and tell them that, that's why your career failed? Because you may catch hands. A lot of people feel like they're protected from celebrities because they feel like, oh, they're not going to throw hands because celebrities, the public opinion matters. So a lot of celebrities do let stuff roll off of them because they don't want to be judged harshly by the public. Because we know that, say, if we don't see the whole story, we see a celebrity punching somebody, we're like, they're out of control. And it's like, no, you didn't hear what the person said to them.
Like The Malice, another Netflix, popular Netflix documentary.
Or who is the one who
Which is why, like when you look back, it's like as hindsight, that's 20 years ago. Now it's '04, yeah. So 20 years ago, it's like none of those guys like got any face any criminal charges. Like was like Artest, Steven Jackson, like they images were smeared and shit because Jermaine O'Neal and because like yeah, like the fans were in the wrong. Say it's a term. That's why yeah,
or
they would have knocked these fans out and it didn't like and they and they didn't go to jail for the shit because
or the other guy, the one who was that the other ball player with the person made fun of his wife having a miscarriage.
Vernon Maxwell, yeah, said
Yeah, he made fun of his wife having a
like, yeah,
miscarriage.
said about his child being stillborn. It's like
Yeah, it's still, yeah, because I knew it was something like I know it was an
going to
infant loss that happened.
when
Yeah, yeah. You don't talk about somebody's wife having a stillborn baby. You don't do that. That's incredibly cruel. That's very, very cruel to do that. It is.
yeah,
But like I said, he said that and it set him off. So then Gary,
he
he
knocked
pushed it. He pushed it. He slapped it.
knocked that ass out.
And then I did like that he did poke some fun. So I said, because like my memory of Gary is like I said, I was a Simpsons fan. So like when he was on
Security
the
on the
Simpsons,
Simpsons, yeah, and then
Christmas episode,
he played security on that episode. So
that episode was funny.
he's on the phone with nobody and
He
shit.
was on the phone with nobody because they was like, wow, they're like, I want to see how this phone call ends. And then they look like, no, you don't, because they saw the phone was unplugged. Because he was talking to like the president on the phone. He's like, yeah, like, I want to see how this ends. No, you don't.
He had some bitterness, but like later in life, he was able to make fun of himself. Like,
Let's just say he's a few prawns short of a galaxy. Ha, ha, ha. And the episode was funny in The Simpsons.
like also on The Simpsons, made fun of him. Like Adam West later in his life, he was able to make fun of himself.
Make fun of yourself.
Took himself seriously for a while, and then like by the time The Simpsons, he was making fun of himself. But
And then the saddest thing is just, I said, when he met his wife, and then they met on like the set of a movie. It's like a movie I never even heard of or whatever. And they met,
a lot of those later in his life movies. You
yeah,
never
he was doing a lot of those movies. And then he met her. She was an extra, and then they got married or whatever. And then after they got married, it's like they started having the disagreements because, like I said, once again, he was on dialysis 3 times a week, 4 hours a day because he had no kidneys, basically.
Yeah.
So he's doing this, and then his wife is like, "We need money. You need to go work." So then she was like making him go out to take these books because it was like some movie, and I was like, "This is so politically incorrect and just so wrong." The movie was called Midget versus Mascot. That was the name of the movie. I had never heard of this movie. That was the name of the movie, and he was in this movie, and it was just basically him being a like, but he was reduced to doing that type of stuff because they needed money. And then people are still saying that it's still up in the air about what actually happened because, she was like, he fell in the kitchen, she came
How he
downstairs.
died is kind of mysterious. Yeah,
It's still mysterious.
he hit his
And
head.
she didn't leave much to make you feel like the way that she was talking in the interview, it still didn't like like her energy, like I'm like,
It's like she didn't give a shit. Yeah.
like his friends and family would like she needs to be like one of his friends was like, I can't say much more because I don't want to get sued or something. One of his friends was like, I can't say much more because like she like I don't want to get sued, basically. But the way that she was just talking, like it just didn't like her energy just seemed off about it. Even the 911 dispatch, they was like, yeah, the way you find your husband bleeding profusely and like you didn't hear the panic and and then the most alarming thing that she did was the final picture that she had of him on the tabloid newspaper. I said, because I remember seeing that picture because I think I was still working at the grocery store at the time, and I saw that picture on the cover of the tabloid with him with all the tubes and she's like this on him looking like I'm praying for my husband, like that. But that just wasn't like showing his final moments like that. And then right after that, then they took him off of life support and he passed away. So it's like sharing that image of him was like I said, we've seen somebody on life support, like our dad, like the way our dad looked near the end. So it's like I wouldn't want nobody to have shared that. You get what I that's like I wouldn't want that image to be shared publicly with anybody. I just wouldn't. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I just after all the stuff that he endured his whole life, like no one treated him, everybody treated him like a cash box.
That's what he was to like
He
people.
was, yeah,
Yeah. And
he
then
was a cash box. And then people made fun of him. He was taken not seriously. He was a joke. And
yeah.
it's just sad that like I don't think that he ever really found peace in his life. That's just really sad. So it was a good document. It's about an hour and a half. So if you have Peacock, watch it on Peacock. It's called Gary. So it shows like his whole life about what happened with him. And
And since we talking different strokes for your rap, because you're gonna way over time.
it is a smooth world.
Rest, talk about Todd Bridges. Rest in peace. His mom, Betty Bridges. She just died.
I saw that.
Those
When I
that
saw
don't, for the what she's most famous for, and not just being Todd Bridges' mom, but when JJ paints the Wiggler on Good Times, like that's
I'm
Betty.
doing the pose.
Yeah. When, yeah, JJ does a painting. It's supposed to be in the nude. It's like, but she ends up wearing a one piece, like a beige.
One Piece,
She
which
wanted,
was racy during that
yeah,
time. That One Piece was
yeah, she
racy
wanted
during
to
that
like
time.
do something to pay for her husband. Yeah, which is played by Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers, another one who we
Yeah,
recently lost. Yeah.
the Wiggler and Apollo are back together. Yeah, he played
I saw that his mom. And I
yeah.
saw a picture of that Nia Long posted. So apparently she did some stuff with Nia Long because I saw
He
a
was an
picture of
acting coach. Yeah, that's a lot of people don't really.
yeah.
Might have been
But
Neil.
Chip Fields was an acting coach. Yeah.
Chip was like, yeah, think she like
So
bet
apparently she must have worked with Nia because it was like Nia posted that on her Instagram when she passed away. So
might have
yeah.
been acting coach. Yeah,
Hmm.
like Tasha Smith, she's an acting coach. She does a lot of coaching. Yeah,
Hmm. Hey, I saw Tasha Smith on America's Next Top Model. That was the first thing I saw her
Oh yeah,
on.
you saw yeah, so yeah, she's an actor.
She was helping the girl because Tyra was like, "This is my really good friend Tasha, and she's going to help you guys learn how to show emotion." Because she said when you model, you still have to show emotion when you model. So I'm gonna show you how she can pull that out of you.
Like when I was pursuing acting, I had some like buddies of mine that had taken her workshop, and they said she was
Hmm.
really intense. Like yeah, like damn fool comedian. He's one of them that took because he was telling about how
I
about
believe
Tasha.
I believe Tasha Smith being intense. I believe every bit of that.
He took her class. Yeah, he was like, yeah, she's the truth. He's like, yeah, he's telling.
I just want to hang out with her. Just but can you teach me how to say how you say Marcus? Can you teach me how to say it like that? Marcus.
That's a good note to wrap up on that.
Rest in peace, Gary Bridges.
Rest in peace, Brady Bridges, 83 years old. Look at he lost. But it's time to wrap up Not Another Damn Podcast, episode 376. Appreciate you supporting us. You want to support us further, give us a like. Also, subscribe, share, rate, review on all your platforms. Talking Apple Podcast, Spotify, TuneIn, SoundCloud, iHeart, YouTube, your Amazon Alexa devices as well. And follow me at Ozman the Wizard on Instagram, TikTok, and X. Oz Radio on Snapchat and Facebook as well.
And you can check me out MSIMA8626 on Instagram, TikTok, and X. Also, SERHGLEY1 on X, SERHGLEY7 on Instagram. Also, please like the Straight Gully Facebook fan page and check out straightgully.com for your blogs and your vlogs.
I'm Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
I'm gone.